The story begins in 1962, amidst the atmosphere of war between the USA and the Soviet Union. Rumors were spreading that the Soviets were about to drop an atomic bomb on the USA. A man named Dr. Calvin gathered supplies in his bunker for 35 years. One day, Calvin and his pregnant wife, Helen, threw a party at their home. However, they soon saw a news report on TV that President Kennedy was planning a secret mission on the Soviet Union. Though lacking details, Calvin feared war was imminent. He promptly escorted all guests out and rushed Helen to the bunker. Moments later, an airplane flying over their city experienced engine failure and crashed straight into Calvin's house, destroying it completely. Meanwhile, when Calvin heard the explosion from beneath the ground, he thought that war had begun. So, he immediately locked the bunker door and informed Helen that the door would only open automatically after 35 years because it takes that long for radiation to dissipate after an atomic bomb explosion. Meanwhile, officers came to search Calvin's house after the explosion, but they found no trace of Helen and Calvin's bodies, so they suspected they might have been killed in the incident. However, as time passed, Calvin made his world within the bunker, but Helen didn't feel at home there. One day, Helen started experiencing severe pain in her abdomen, and then she gave birth to a boy right there. Days turned into years unnoticed, and their son, Adam, started growing up. Calvin taught him like a school, boxing, French, Latin, and even about the stock market. On the other hand, Helen taught him household chores and dancing. Calvin also gifted Adam his collection of baseball cards. Anyway, his parents gave him very good values and they pretended to do everyday activities like going to the market, catching fish in the tank, and planting trees so that Adam could learn everything. They also studied together and played games. On the other hand, their house's land was sold, and now someone had opened a restaurant there. After a few years, the Pizza Hut was built, and then a nightclub. By 1995, Adam was 33 years old. His parents gave him gifts, and Adam prayed to find his life partner. Helen said that now there are only 2 years left to go outside, but Calvin said that he would miss this place a lot. But Helen did not like this place any less than a jail, so she vented her frustration by screaming in the other room. Finally, 2 years later, the bunker door opened on its own, and everyone was quite excited to go outside. But Calvin said he would first go out and see the atmosphere there. He put on his radiation suit and went up the elevator. There, in the dark alley, some beggars were living. When a beggar named Melkar saw Calvin coming out of the ground, he was so scared that he fainted right there. Anyway, Calvin moved forward and was amazed to see the outside environment. People were roaming around with guns like toys, and adult films were being sold in shops. Calvin couldn't understand anyone's language there. Calvin immediately returned to the bunker and said that the outside air was fine, but people had gone mad. Calvin said they shouldn't stay out for more years. But upon hearing this, Helen's temperature rose high. She screamed, saying that it is very important for Adam to see the outside world. But Calvin didn't agree, and in the midst of this argument, he had a heart attack. Now the food supplies were running out, so Helen told Adam to go outside and bring supplies for the next few years. She gave Adam money and a shopping list and also told him to find the queen of his dreams before leaving. But before leaving, Calvin warned Adam to stay away from an adult video store as there was dangerous radiation there. Anyway, when Adam arrived outside bunker, he saw Melkar lighting candles and praying for Calvin's family. Well, Adam went outside and was quite happy to see the sky, buildings, and so many people. He got excited seeing every little thing and greeted everyone he passed by. When he passed by the adult film store, he held his nose and even forced others to do the same. After a while, he boarded a bus, and when the bus started moving, he felt his heart sinking. He tried to talk to other people, but he spoke in very old-fashioned English, so people started thinking he was crazy. Anyway, he finally reached the store and started picking up items from the list. Then the shopkeeper told him that if he needed a lot of items, they could deliver them to his home. But then Adam realized that he didn't know the way back to the bunker. Terrified, he ran away from there and spent the whole day bumping into buses, trying to somehow reach the bunker. But it was of no use, and his money was running out. So, he went to a store to sell his father's baseball cards. The shopkeeper saw that they were quite valuable cards but offered Adam only $500 for the whole bag. Just then, a girl working there, Eve, intervened and told Adam that the price of one of his cards ranged from $4 to $2,000. Eve exposed her boss's dishonesty and immediately quit her job. Seeing this, Adam started to like the girl. He left the store and asked Eve for the address of a hotel. At first, Eve refused and walked away, but when Adam offered her 2 prepaid calling cards in return, she stopped. On the way, Adam played old songs, which Eve found a bit strange. Anyway, she dropped Adam off at the hotel and left. When Adam looked out of the window of his room, he was amazed to see such a big city. He spent the night watching TV and witnessed the sunrise in the morning. Eve returned to Adam and returned the baseball cards because she didn't want to take so much money. Then Adam offered her a job as his assistant so she could help him with shopping instead of taking the money. Eve agreed, and then they bought supplies for 2 years. Later, Adam told her that he was looking for the queen of his dreams. After shopping, Eve took Adam to her home, where he met her friend Troy and was quite surprised to see the machines there. When Troy asked about his home, Adam lied and said he came from Alaska. Meanwhile, Helen was feeling restless, so she also left the bunker. But as soon as she came outside, found Melkar and his friends worshipping, she immediately went back inside. The next day, Troy dressed Adam nicely and made him feel like a hero. For the next few days, Troy and Eve took Adam around, showing him new songs, skateboarding, and even showing him the sea. Later, he watched a baseball match and realized why his father liked baseball so much. Then one day, it started raining, and Adam was delighted like a child in the rain. When Eve came to pick him up, Adam hugged her and said that his father would have been very happy to see the rain. Anyway, in the evening, Eve and Troy took Adam to an old club so he could meet some girls. The girls there were impressed by Adam's old stories and his charm. Suddenly, a girl started flirting with Adam, which made Eve jealous. She pulled Adam aside and told him he should find a good girl. Then Adam started dancing with another girl, and everyone was amazed by his fantastic dance moves. Seeing all this, Eve got angry and went back home alone. When Troy came home, he told Eve that Adam had left the club with another girl. Hearing this, Eve didn't feel good at all, and she realized that she truly loves Adam. So, she went out to look for Adam, but suddenly, Adam appeared in front of her, which startled her and she fell down in fear. Adam helped her up, brought her inside, bandaged her wound, and confessed his true feelings to her, saying that he couldn't imagine being with anyone else but Eve. Then, they kissed each other, and Adam revealed the truth about living with his family in the bunker for 35 years. He said he wanted to marry Eve and live with her in the bunker. Hearing this, Eve thought he was crazy, but then she realized she had fallen in love with a crazy man. She sent Adam away from her house, and the next day, Troy taught Adam how to drive. Suddenly, Adam's gaze fell on an adult video store, and he walked down the same street to reach his home. He saw that Melkar had started a new religion outside the bunker. Then Adam rushed to inform Eve about something, but when he arrived, there were already 2 psychiatrists waiting for him. At first, Adam pretended to talk to them, but as soon as he got the chance, he ran away from home. One doctor chased after him, while the other called the police. However, Eve stopped him because she realized she was wrong. Then Adam came back running and asked her to pay the hotel bill with the baseball cards. Then he rushed to his truck with his belongings. Later, Eve and Troy went to Adam's hotel room and found many items from the 1960s, including Calvin's stock market certificates, which were worth millions today. They realized that Adam was telling the truth. Meanwhile, Adam somehow made it back to the bunker and hugged his parents. He had been away for 2 whole weeks, which worried his parents. Adam told them that the outside world is very nice, and then Melkar and his companions filled their bunker with all the items from the truck. Over there, Eve was searching for Adam, and Troy brought her to an adult video store where she started jumping on the ground to locate Adam's bunker. After searching for a long time, they still couldn't find anything, so they came out. But then they saw Adam entering a building. Eve immediately ran to him, kissed him, and then Adam took her to meet his parents. Calvin and Helen really liked Eve, and they all had dinner together. Then Adam told his parents to stay in the bunker for 2 more months. After that, he sold Calvin's stocks and built a new house exactly like their old one. Melker also quit drinking and helped with the cleaning. When everything was ready, Adam brought his parents home, saying it would be easier for them to adapt gradually to this new world. Later, when Helen and Eve were preparing dinner, Adam told Calvin that the atomic bomb never actually dropped. The explosion was from a plane crash, and later the Soviet Union also ended. But Calvin didn't believe him, so he still started thinking about building a new bunker for future safety. With this movie concludes. I hope you have liked this movie recap. Please like, share and subscribe for more real recaps.